recent adaptation of Stephen King's classic novel It has taken the film world by storm. Audiences are flooding the theaters, doubling the previous highest-grossing horror film's numbers, and the critics are loving it just as much. This all begs the question, why? It's strange for a horror film to sway the hearts of both the audience and the critics so universally. Recently, horror films have been one or the other, either dominating at the box office or gaining critical favor, but almost never both. Is this all just a matter of good timing? The work of a superior crew behind the scenes? A good marketing team? One thing's for sure, as rare as it is for a horror film to be receiving this type of success, it's even rarer for a remake. Remakes have become the bane of the film community, to the point where even the average moviegoer has been getting sick of seeing their favorite characters being redone again and again. But while there's certainly been an influx of remakes in recent years, it's important to remember that they've been around since the dawn of cinematic time. Why even revered classics like the Maltese Falcon and Ben-Hur were both the second remakes of their original source material. What I'm trying to say is this: remakes have been around forever, and just because something is a remake doesn't mean that the film is going to be bad. There does seem to be one common trait in the most successful remakes, and it's as simple as this: they improve on the original. They aren't just better films, they actively find faults in their original storytelling or structure and attempt to mend them best they can. This can also explain why remakes of already successful and acclaimed material don't do as well as their originals. While this isn't true 100% of the time, it seems that people would rather just see the original classic than take their chances with something new. Director Gus Van Sant's remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho actively proved this. A literal shot-for-shot remake, despite hitting all the same beats and notes as the original, the film suffered massive blows both financially and critically. Nearly all successful reboots of older franchises have worked because they did the opposite. Rise of the Planet of the Apes has already paved the way for a critically acclaimed trilogy because of its deep respect for source material and the smart decision to not stray too close to the original, something that Tim Burton's failed reboot 10 years earlier certainly did not do. Ugh. Even the new Spider-Man succeeded with audiences because it covered different ground than its previous incarnations, in a way that kept it fresh and exciting. What it did that allowed it to be so successful was its obvious respect for not only Stephen King's novel and the miniseries, but the recognition that both are flawed in their own ways. It understood what made the previous adaptation click so well with audiences, but also acknowledged that there were faults in the first that it could improve on. These changes not only allow the story to work better as a whole, but they make the film smoother and fresher to an audience already well versed in its story. It also helps to not be afraid to edit out some unsavory things from the novel and miniseries, such as the scene where Stephen King writes that the girl who spent the majority of her young adult life disproving that she was a slut, suddenly deciding to have sex with the entire group of boys at the end of the first half. Or, well, you know. At any rate, it serves as a great reminder of what a good remake is like, and how through honoring and improving on the source material, it can be even better than what came before.